let me show you how this these workbooks were sent to me. You've seen the screenshots showing all the files that were sent to me, the Excel workbooks. So this is one of them. I've just opened it. This is a local government in Plateau State. It's Bocos number 003. So the you see the way it comes. I first of all have to readjust it to, I mean, zoom in and be able to see clearly what exactly is in it. Um, then you see that what they've done is to do an index of all the worksheets in it, and each of the worksheets refers to a ward in the local government. So this Bocos worksheet now has about 14 words. Okay, so this local government has 14 words. So you have to now click this hyperlink text to go to each of the words, which is a worksheet. You see, this is a word, and in this word you have a certain number of polling units that are identified by their respective names, and then you have another one, Butura, which is another word in the local government called Bocos 003. So you see L.G.A. Bocos. So, and you have this thing repeated. If you go back here, you can actually open Jos East. The same thing. Jos East is another local government. You see the same way you have to, there's this little bit of code they put in it. So enable that, and then you have to zoom in, to be able to see it. Now the reason why I'm starting with this is I want to show you the demo of the Plateau State version of the app that I sent to the client. So like I said, it's just a mini demo. It just had 2 local governments in it. But you see what you have here. If I right click here, you can see the number of this is the number of that's about 10 words, right, in this local government. So this local government file has 10 words, the other one has 14. All right, that's 24 different worksheets. All right, then each of the local governments has a workbook. So 2 workbooks, 24 different worksheets. Then you have, right, I think about 12 or 15 local governments in this particular state, Plateau State. The point is, you can imagine you have to open multiple workbooks and all of that, moving up and down. It can be very cumbersome, very tiring. You have to scroll left, scroll right, post entries. Well, what I did was to eliminate all those workbooks, right? More than 250 worksheets altogether. I eliminated all of them and then use just one workbook with 2 worksheets. So that's what you're about to see now. So I'm going to close this one as well, and then I'll launch the demo version of the app. Okay, now I'll enable the macro. Alright, what I've not done is to, and I'll quickly do that now. Okay, well, it's done it itself. So you can see, first of all, I've gotten rid of the ribbon, which is very, very important because you need as much of your space capital as possible. One of the things you do in ergonomics, even on screen, is you want to make it easy for the user to do what it needs to do. You want to focus. So in this case, the applications are designed to be novice proof, so you don't want the users trying to worry about Excel controls and all that. You've already automated everything. Now remember, I said that the local governments, each local government is a workbook, and then you have a certain number of worksheets in it for each word, for the words. What you have here instead is you have 2 worksheets, as I told you. So this is one worksheet where you have a drop menu that allows you to choose the name of the local government you want to see. You can see Bocos 003 and Jos East. If I click Jos East, what happens is it brings up the table for Jos East. This is the summary table, election results. Now you see the list of all the, remember we had 10, this there, you understand. Now what happens is all the entries have been made in another worksheet you're going to see in a few moments, and those entries are what are automatically summed up here. So number of polling units, registered voters, accredited voters. Any of this that's not visible, just click here, you click auto fit, it will adjust, auto fit, accredited, auto fit, whatever you need to do, and then you keep going. Now you see we've also frozen the panes to make it easy to navigate and keep visible the essential rows and columns. Now you see we're looking at 5 major parties. This is the way the summary was done in their own workbook, so I will follow the format they gave me. So the APC party, blah blah blah, all those parties. So the totals under each entered in all the different local governments, you understand, for each of the parties under the respective wards comes up here, you understand. And then you have the number of valid votes, all of these are totaled from the data entry sheet. This is a report interface. You don't get to make any changes to this interface. All right, you just get to generate different scenarios, and you can print preview at any point in time. So I'm demonstrating this application. What I did was just enable it to work with 2 local data for 2 local government areas. All right, so you could actually change the orientation if you want, but for now we won't bother with that now. So then you can show all local governments again. So it hides all the other local governments and shows the local government you have clicked on its name, or on which name you have clicked. right? So if you want to see the one for Bocos, the same thing. Those are the only two I've made entries into. You can see that. So the values that you are seeing are the values based on the entries made across all the different wards of this particular local government. You understand? So if we want to test it, let's take a look at APC now. You see APC is here. You can see that there's no entry for Kamwal BK04. All right, there's no entry for it. Okay, so let's go and make an entry deliberately in the where you have the data entry table. So this make data entries into words. Remember, it's Kamwal we picked. Okay, just east. Okay, then we pick. Let's go now. Okay, I'm struggling here too. The lighting is affecting me. I'm not sure. Were we in Bocos when I checked the other time? Were we in? Okay, I'm having some issues. Okay, that's it. Kamwal. We're in Bocos, so Kamwal. Okay, so it brings up Kamwal. Can you see that? So it allows me to focus on the exact body of data I need to work with. So there are how many polling units? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a look at the top. This is always a dynamic value. It's also going to change to reflect. This is what you have here now. Number of polling units you have. You have 8. So it's doing the counting dynamically. So you can come here and I said APC. So let's go to APC. Let's make an entry. Let's just say 25,000. This is just a demo entry. It's just a demo. So just for us to see the way the application picks it. So if we go back now to the report interface and then go to view local government top 5. Alright, we're still there. You can see the 23,000 I showed. Now imagine if you had to work with the other kind of workbooks I showed you. You can imagine is the hassle that you have to go through to find your way to the right row, the right column, and make your entry and then be able to generate the report. And all the reports are scattered. You have like about 12 to 15 workbooks. You have about 250 worksheets. It's crazy, but all this is compressed into 2 worksheets within one. Now let me quickly show you some of the other functionalities that really show that automation can be beneficial. Remember, I mentioned to you that you have all the local government names, right? So what I did was to put them in one drop list. So there's an interface that's the settings table where you have all this, and it's dynamic. So when I choose the name of a particular local government, watch this one on the right. Keep your eye on this drop menu on the right. So if I click just east, notice that there's a change now. The list is changed. All right. If I go back and I click Bocos, you can see the names have changed again. All right. Now that applies to all the local governments that are here, but these are the 2 I'm using for the demo. So it means when I want to manipulate this word data spreadsheet, all right, I want to be able to narrow down to the word I want to work with. I have to first of all decide what local government the word is in. So I know, okay, it's in Bocos. When I've done that, I know the drop list here now is for Bocos. All right. So I go up and I say, okay, I want this second one. All right. So it brings it Putura. Okay. It brings up the data for Putura up. Every single one of them that's there will be picked up because all these entries here, you can see they are designed. There's data validation, so this allows you to pick the name when you're making the entry. So this is an entry table. You pick the name of the word you want to make an entry for. You put the name of inside the name of the polling unit. You put whether it's existing or not, and then all the other details down to voting and all the other stuff. Okay, you go right across to the top. I want you to take a look at these columns here. These cells. The cells here, the ones I'm clicking. You can see the totals at the top. As I'm making the changes, all right. As I click the drop menus, you especially watch this, and maybe I'll make some entries here. I just want you to see. Okay, well, you might not be able to see it easily in terms of, because this is, okay, let me just do a few local governments. Maybe do just east as well and pick another word in it. So I'll make another entry here. I want you to just see the way the totals are kind of dynamic to reflect what it is you selected at any point in time. Okay, you see that. So if I say show all words now, you see it's totaled everything. You see that total at the top. You see here, you're going to see, you can see that 369 words, and then you see the total number of votes here for this party A. But the minute I choose another local government, watch, I just specify a particular local government, Bocos. Okay, and I pick a word in Bocos. You see that one doesn't have anything. So it's dynamic. You see this word I picked now, you can see it has only 8 polling units. So in other words, the totals are dynamic. That makes your life so much easier. You don't have to go through all the multiple spreadsheets and all that. So that's the point I wanted to make. That's another level of convenience that it affords you. You have the in-cell drop menus allowing for you to ensure you don't have to type the names of the local governments or the wards. Everything is designed to make your life easy, and you focus on the essentials, which is just the data entry here. You make your entries here, all the totals are done for you automatically. And then here's another thing. Let's go to the main menu. So you see the reporting interface, that's the summary table. So there's a third interface, which is, now this is not a data entry, this is just a reporting interface. So there's a table of summaries here. You can see that this is automatically generated. All the essential performance indicators, number of polling units, blah blah blah, party voting values, number of valid votes, blah blah blah, and then it's charted just below it. All right, you can see the total votes by L.G.As, total votes by state, and all of that right to the bottom. I think there are about 6 charts, and they are automatically generated as you put in your data. Now you can actually send them to the printer. Just click the print preview button, and it goes straight to the printer. So the point I'm making here is that, unlike what we had with the other set of workbooks, this one is one workbook has 2 worksheets for handling the data, and a third worksheet for generating the reports out. And within a matter of a fraction of the time it takes you, and with less effort, okay, that it takes you to use the other workbooks that are so cumbersome and so many in number, you are able to actually do the same thing. And imagine if you had to do the elections for Plateau State, so you'll only be working with this one workbook. You don't have to open all those, how many workbooks now? About 15 workbooks, and opened about over 200 worksheets. So that's the benefit of using intelligent best practice worksheet and workbook design, and also the use of Excel Visual Basic automation. It's a powerful combination. All right, if you have any questions, get that across to me using the contact details on your screen. I wish you well.